Okay, I'm just checking my voice. Can you please write yes or Y if you can hear my voice? Ah, okay, okay, great. Okay, okay. Uh, Liz and Maxine, you can hear my voice? Okay, okay, okay. Maxine, could you hear my voice? Ah, okay, great, great. Fine. So, today we will discuss another topic regarding mindfulness, and that is how we can be consistent in practicing mindfulness. Now, it sounds very easy that every day I'm doing mindfulness, or every day I keep aside 30 minutes for mindfulness, but it's easier said than done. At least my journey in mindfulness has not been very linear. Like, there are some days where I could practice properly, there are some days where I could not, or maybe I was so busy and I did not get time to do that, or maybe, yeah, yeah, Liz. I mean, it would be very wrong if I say that it has been very linear and every day I could practice. No, no, I don't want to tell any lies. So we need to be consistent, but at the same time, there are many distractions. There are kind of boredom, and sometimes we just do not feel like practicing mindfulness, or maybe we do something else. So it happens. It's quite normal. So we should not be very hard on ourselves. Like, oh my God, uh, 2 days I could not practice mindfulness in this week. It's very bad. No, no. Like, we should be very gentle and compassionate with ourselves first when it comes to mindfulness. If we scold ourselves, if we have any guilty inside of our mind, or if we uh, just don't be kind enough with our authentic self, then there is no point actually practicing mindfulness, because mindfulness actually increases all this quality among us. So today, our the topic is how we can be consistent in practicing mindfulness, like how we can do in a regular manner. Okay, a stranger has come. Hi, stranger. So, we are going to discuss a few strategies through which we can practice mindfulness without being bored, or without skipping it, or without forgetting it. So, that is what the topic today. And just like I said, like, my journey has not been very linear. Even these days also, even though I am teaching mindfulness, there are some day I could not practice it. I was coming from a different city. Now I am at my hometown now, that is in Calcutta. Previously, I was in a city called Bangalore, and I took a train, and the train took almost 26 hours, and it was a very hectic journey. And after coming back to home, I did not get any internet connection. So today itself, in the morning, I got the broadband connection, and that is why I could come today, and to discuss about things and to have this session. So I was wondering if I can really come today for this session, but in the morning I got my connection. So yeah, 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 Liz. Uh, I could not practice mindfulness in past couple of days. That is true. Okay. So if it happens with you as well, for a few days or for a day you could not practice mindfulness, that is fine. You should not be very hard on this. And mindfulness does not always mean to sitting in a cross-leg position or in a lotus posture and keeping aside 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and practicing it dedicatedly. exclusively? No. The good thing about mindfulness is we can integrate mindfulness with anything that we are doing throughout the day. Anything. Maybe mindful breathing, maybe mindful eating, mindful walking, mindful reading, mindfully listening to our favorite song. There are a few songs which I try to read mindfully. I love songs of Ed Sheeran. Have you guys heard any songs of Ed Sheeran? And one of my favorite song is Photograph by Ed Sheeran. Okay, so you can just YouTube. Yeah, the singer name is Ed Sheeran. Eh, Okay, I think this is the right name. Uh, Ed Sheeran. Okay, so uh, and sometimes I try to watch a movie in a mindful manner. So anything that you are doing, you can do it. You can practice mindfulness and you can integrate the mindfulness with that thing. So the first thing about mindfulness is being compassionate with ourselves. We should not scold ourselves. We should not be uh, very like stringent, or we should not be very hard, because then just in a few days we will lose the motivation. We will not find it interesting enough, and we will stop practicing, just like we do with other subject. So this is the first thing. We should practice compassion with ourselves first. If we forget mindfulness, keep mindfulness for a couple of days, that is fine. Okay. Uh, so today we are going to discuss some practical strategy that we all can follow, and we can do it in a regular basis. So the first thing about uh, being consistent in mindfulness is we should start small. I have I have met many people who started practicing mindfulness for half an hour in the morning and half an hour in the evening, and just in couple of weeks they have given it up. Okay, we should not have a very high expectation, or like every day for half an hour, for 1 hour I would do mindfulness. No, we should start with a very minimum time, like 2 minutes in the morning and 2 minutes in the evening. I ask people to start with 5 minutes in the morning and 5 minutes in the evening, but fine, even 2 minutes are fine. That is also good enough. Okay. So even if you have a 2 minute session or 5 minute session, we can gradually increase the duration as we become more comfortable. Yes, Liz. So 2 minutes in the morning and 2 minutes in the evening, it's good enough. And we need to gradually increase the duration as we become more comfortable. So here, the time is not important. Like how, okay, Bronte, yeah, that's great. That's great. If you can practice it for 15 minutes, that's really good. So here, every day, how long we are practicing, like one day I'm doing 1 hour, the next day I'm doing 1 hour, and the third day I did not do it all. Fourth day I forgot. Better than this is if we consistently do it. Because in one session I discussed that when we do mindfulness, uh, yes, this. Yeah, you can say that. It's just like doing exercise. It's an exercise of our mind. And when we practice mindfulness, the neuroplasticity takes place inside our brain. So we grow new neurons and we make a different new connection. And it takes time. Like after 2 months, after 3 months, we will not feel very agitated when we do mindfulness. But initially, uh, because mindfulness is something, which we are not very attuned with. Like since our childhood, our lifestyle, our learnings, the environment, the ecosystem, we have always uh, thought about the past or future. We have always regretted about the past, or we were worrying about the future. And mindfulness is basically, breaking this programming. Mindfulness is, breaking this habit and coming up with a new kind of way of seeing life. So initially, we should start with uh, a very small amount of time, like 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, because initially we will go through different kind of distraction, irritations, boredom, and we can feel some kind of sleepiness, we can feel some kind of restlessness. These are very normal thing, and these are very common thing, and we need to go past this experience. So initially, if we start practicing for half an hour or 1 hour in a day, the 90% chances are second day and third day we will not do it, or we will skip it, or we will do something else. We should start with like very small amount of time. Yeah. Another thing, it is good if you can schedule some time for mindfulness, like same time in the morning, the same time in the evening, even for 2 minutes, even for 3 minutes. We can make a, we can set an alarm in our mobile phone. Nowadays, all mobile phones have alarms, and I don't even see any alarm clock these days in any house I visit, be it my relatives, be it my friends. In older days, we used to have an alarm clock with a big alarm button. But I don't know. In India, at least, I don't see any alarm clock these days. So you can just set an alarm in your mobile phone, and in the morning 2 minutes, and in the evening 2 minutes. You can also use some app. There are some mindfulness app that also you can do. So you can block some time. You can schedule some time every day in the morning, in the evening. But if you miss that time, you don't need to feel bad. Anytime you can do that. So maybe I have set up an alarm at 7 a.m. I missed it. I can do it at 8 or 9, at 11 or 12. Doesn't matter. It is ideal if you do it at the same time every day, because this is then it becomes easier for our mind and body to adapt into that thing if we do it a particular thing every day in the same time. That is how we have the sleeping pattern, we have the sleep hygiene. So if we every day if we sleep at 12 or 11 p.m., after a few days, like after 1 month, after 2 months, automatically we will feel sleepy when the clock strikes 11 p.m. The same thing happens with mindfulness. But if you miss it, you don't need to worry about it. You can practice another time as well. Okay. Now, in mindfulness, one important thing is to finding an anchor with which you can attach your mind. Okay. Uh, and it is very beneficial for mindfulness practice. The most easiest anchor which we can find is our breathing, because it is happening all the time. Right now it is happening. So if I attach my mind with my breathing, that becomes an anchor. That is why in the very first session we learned breathing mindfulness, which is the basic mindfulness, the foundation of mindfulness, that how we attach our mind with our breathing process, breathing in and breathing out. And the moment we find our mind has gone somewhere else, thinking something else, imagining something, regretting something, or worrying something, very gently we will bring our mind back to the present moment by anchoring it to our breathing. And this process will go on. Like if you practice 5 minutes of mindfulness, you will find that your mind has gone uh, away from the breathing countless time, like intermittently. In mindfulness, we bring our mind back from some thought, some sensation, some imagination, some worry, some past memories, and that is a kind of mental exercise. Our mind is going somewhere else. Again, we are bringing it back to our breathing. Our mind is going, to past and future. We are gently bringing it back to our breathing sensation. Yeah, Suki said, I have that problem all the time. My mind usually wanders within a. Yeah, not with you only, Suki, to all of us. Some people have some general tendency uh, to concentrate more or to concentrate less. But more or less, if you study the average population, most of the people have the same tendency. This is the nature of our mind. It never sits still. That is why in ancient uh, culture, the mind has been uh, compared with monkey. It's known as monkey mind. Just like a monkey goes from one branch to another branch of the tree, the same thing happens with our mind. It goes from one thought to another thought. And in different ancient tradition like Zen, like some other ancient tradition, our mind is considered as a monkey mind. And so it happens with all of us, Suki. Maybe for you it is more, maybe for others it is less, but it happens. And gradually, the more time you spend with mindfulness, this tendency will reduce. The the speed or the frequency uh, at which the mind switches to different tabs of our thought. I'm speaking like in a very tech language or like a technophile. But yeah, similar thing. Like just like we have different tab opens in our Google Chrome browser, or if you use Apple, then Safari browser or Mozilla Firefox. Same thing happens with our mind. There are different tabs opens, and the mind goes to and fro from one tab to another tab. The more we practice mindfulness, the number of tabs will reduce, and the mind will travel through these tabs less frequent, less frequently. But it will take some time. It is not going to happen, overnight. It is going to take some time, and we need to be patient, and we need to wait till that time comes. And that is the reason I always talk about scientific study which has been going on in different universities and hospitals, so that we have faith in mindfulness, not blind faith, but a rational faith, the faith which sounds with reason. Uh, so, since I was talking about research, today I can discuss one research, and then I can go to the next point. Uh, there was a research which was conducted in Georgetown University, and the research was conducted by a psychiatric professor. I think her name was uh, Elizabeth Hoge. Okay, I think her name was Elizabeth Hoge, and she is the director of anxiety disorder research program as well, and the associate professor of psychiatry at Georgetown University. So, in this particular study or in this research, they have taken two group of people. One group of people, they were having a medicine which is used for treating anxiety, panic attack, or any kind of anxiety disorder, PTSD, generalized anxiety disorder, obsessive compulsive disorder, and the name of the medicine was escitalopram, and the escitalopram is sold through different brands like Nexito, and some other brands are there. So one group of patients, and The patients were not very old in age, like the average age was 35 to 33 to 35 to 40, 42, something like that. And there were most of them were female patients, or the female population who were going through some kind of anxiety disorder. And another group she studied who did not take any medicine, but they went through a 8-week MBSR program. What is MBSR? Mindfulness based stress reduction, which was proposed by Dr. John Kabat-Zinn, who basically made this mindfulness a popular practice in USA, mainly in hospitals, in medical schools. So after 2 months, they found that those people who went through MBSR and those people who took medicine, escitalopram, they had the same efficacy. They had the same outcome. That means mindfulness based stress reduction was as effective as the pills that they have taken for 2 months. But the difference is those people who had taken those medicine, they had experienced some kind of side effects. But those people who had practiced mindfulness for 2 months, they did not go through those kind of side effects. Maybe sometimes they felt sleepy, sometimes they felt restless, but not the kind of side effect which, hi lady, welcome, welcome. So, but not those kind of side effect which was experienced by people who had took escitalopram. So you can find this research paper. You can just Google Elizabeth Hoge mindfulness research, Georgetown University, and you will find all the yeah, Liz, true, because escitalopram had different side effect for different people. Some people experience nausea. Some people experienced like kind of you know like sometimes they have uh, sleepiness, headache. Some people have constipation. Some people had many different kind of side effects they have found. But those people who did not take the medicine but went through the MBSR program for 2 months, uh, they had the same positive outcome. So after 2 months, when they filled up their questionnaire based on their anxiety level, there are different scales through which psychiatrists or psychologists measure condition. Like last day, I talked about one such scale. It's called Y-box scale. So there are many different kind of scales and measuring techniques through which they measure that how anxious a person is or how much they have healed. They found after 2 months, both of the groups have achieved the same number of recovery, but one group without side effect and another group with side effect. So, just like I said, I love to talk about scientific research when it comes to mindfulness because I do not want you to believe in mindfulness blindly. I, I want you to question more about mindfulness and like research more about mindfulness and find more information, and then we can uh, develop the faith inside ourselves and we can practice with more vigor, practice with more sincerity and consistently. Okay, fine. Now the next thing is we have already discussed about an anchor. The next thing is we can integrate mindfulness into daily life. Okay. Um, Suppose, for example, when we are playing with our pets, it could be a dog, it could be a cat, It could be any animal. How many of you have any pet, dog, cat, or any other pet? Anyone has any pet here? Okay, Suki, great. Okay, anyone else? Wow, wow. Everyone have a dog here. Ah, great. Now you honestly tell me when you, wow, wonderful. So you honestly tell me when you play with your dog, maybe just for 5 minutes or 10 minutes in a day, when you play with your dog, do you really feel about the past or future? Or do you really, those kind of anxious thoughts come to your mind, or maybe a regret in the past, or maybe a future worry? Does it enter your mind? No. Right. Yes, exactly, exactly. So when people play with their pets, they forget everything and they simply live in the present moment. That is mindfulness. So you don't need to sit cross-legged. You can just play with your furry friends and live in the present moment. And that is mindfulness. So first we need to get rid of that idea that mindfulness is sitting cross-legged, having a earphone, having a headphone, or opening an app, a Headspace app, or maybe listening to a guided mindfulness meditation, or every morning I have to do it for 10 minutes, every evening I have to do for 10 minutes. So we need to get rid of this idea, because these ideas make mindfulness less funny, less interesting. It makes mindfulness very boring. It makes mindfulness very monotonous. So playing with your pets is the most effective and you know like enjoyable mindfulness moment, because when you play with your dog or with your cat, you do not think about the past or future. For that 5 minutes or that 10 minutes, you are just playing with your dog and not thinking anything else. So that is mindfulness. So we can integrate mindfulness with any kind of activity. Just like I told you, like playing with your dog, or maybe uh, you love having a cup of coffee, or you love having a cup of tea. So if you savor the cup of coffee and tea, being completely immersed in that experience, that is mindfulness. Okay, for 2 minutes, 3 minutes, you are just sipping the coffee from your cup, uh, and you are just feeling the sensation on your tongue, the aroma which is coming inside your nose, and how it feels when it goes inside your mouth, and feeling the warmness when it goes down from your throat. This is mindfulness. Okay, or suppose you like a particular activity, maybe you are walking amidst nature, so and you are listening to some birds chirping, a river flowing, the rustling of dry leaves. That is also mindfulness. So we call these a micro practices. There is a recent term, macro practices and micro practices. So these are the micro practices of mindfulness, which significantly improves the overall experience of our mindfulness meditation. Even though all these things sounds very silly, but over time, when we are doing it, it leads to a profound change uh, in our personality and how we see things and how we respond to a something rather than reacting. So this is another thing that we can do sometimes to give us some more motivation or inspiration. We can also track our progress. So we can just write simple mindfulness journal, or we can use some meditation app to monitor our progress, like how long we are practicing it every day, how consistently we are practicing it every day. And it gives us a sense of accomplishment. It gives us a sense of achievement, which actually inspires us because it activates the reward center in our brain. It activates the reward center in our brain. So that is why, if you, yeah, Liz, yeah. So that is why if you wear a smartwatch, nowadays there are many smartwatch made by Apple, made by some other companies, and the moment you see you have crossed 10,000 steps, you feel good about yourself. And that gives you more inspiration and more motivation to do it the next day. So the next day also you try to cover 10,000 steps marks. The same thing happens with mindfulness as well. Uh, Another thing which helps, which really helps, if you can find a community where everyone is practicing mindfulness. So maybe some local community, or maybe a yoga school where you can go and you can practice mindfulness with other people. And that is the reason, sometimes we go to gym. Even if we purchase all the equipments in which is available in gymnasium, even if we purchase all the equipments and keep it in our home, I mean, we cannot be 100% sure that every day we will exercise. I have seen many people who has purchased treadmill, but later it was used to dry clothes. Have you seen all this kind of thing? I have seen many. They have purchased treadmill so that they can do jogging or running on treadmills, but later they were just uh, drying clothes on it. Yeah, yeah. So same thing happens. Even if we purchase all the equipments in our home, there is no guarantee that we will do it every day. But if we enroll in a program where every day there are other people in a group, and we feel motivated by seeing someone else, and we make a social connection, we make friends, and then we do it together. So if you can find such community, then that is another thing that you can really do to practice mindfulness in a more consistent manner. Okay. Another thing that we can do is the variety. Every day if we do breathing mindfulness, or every day if we do body scanning mindfulness, every day if we do five sense mindfulness, we it can be a little bit boring. So we should practice variety of mindfulness. So maybe one day we can do five sense mindfulness, second day we can do body scanning mindfulness or breathing mindfulness. So just like we do not have the same food every day, we need variety. Same thing happens with our mind as well. Our mind needs variety, at least initially when we are starting mindfulness, because our mind is not conditioned enough to stay in the present moment for sustained amount of time. So initially for first 1 month 2 month we can try variety of mindfulness practice, walking mindfulness, mindful reading, mindful listening to song, any kind of mindfulness you can do. Okay? And whatever you feel like, you can do that. There is no hard and fast rule that you have to practice breathing mindfulness. You have to practice body scanning mindfulness. No, whatever you feel like, whatever you are comfortable with, whatever you vibe with, you can practice that mindfulness. Another thing that we can explore more empirical data, more research report, more statistics, because that will give us more confidence that okay, those people got benefited, those people got enormous result, many people mindfulness has transformed. If I do that, the same thing might happen with me. So we can always upgrade our knowledge when it comes to mindfulness. And that is the reason I always discuss the research report in this session. So we can focus on the benefits. What kind of benefits we are going to get when we practice mindfulness, what kind of mental benefit, what kind of physical benefit, what kind of emotional benefit. Okay, and that can actually, reading more and seeing more data and seeing more research report, that can actually reignite our commitment, that actually reignite our effort. And the next point is, we should make it, while practicing mindfulness, uh, it is not a very boring exercise, or it is not a very rigid, religious kind of exercise. No, like, we need to make it fun. Mindfulness does not have to be very serious. So we can find different ways to incorporate mindfulness into our activities. Just like I said, playing with your pets, listening to our favorite song in a more mindful manner. Even those people who love cooking. I don't know anything about cooking. I just know how to prepare coffee. And there is a instant noodles called Maggi that is very popular in India. I don't know in USA or in other countries if you have Maggi. Like, it's a kind of instant noodles, but in India it's very popular. So I only know how to prepare these two things and survive. If you know cooking, you can do enormous mindfulness practice while cooking. When you are chopping the onion, when you are peeling the potatoes, when you are touching different vegetables, different fruits, you are smelling their aroma, you are listening to the sounds of the fruits or vegetables being chopped. Yeah, Liz, yeah, this is one way to make it a more consistent practice. Otherwise, there will be days we will forget and we will skip it up. So, if you know cooking, that is itself a mindfulness exercise. So, peeling the potatoes, chopping the vegetables, um, inhaling aromas of different herbs and spices, you can practice mindfulness. Sometimes I wash dishes after having lunch and dinner. I have the I'm the official dishwasher in my home. So I wash dishes, and that time I try to practice mindfulness. So how I am sprinkling the soap on the plate, how the plate fills, the scrubber that I am using. So being the official dishwasher in our house, I have the privilege to practice mindfulness in that time. And sometimes I take more time, and sometimes I waste more water that I need to control. Ah, okay, okay, yeah, okay. So yes, I need to stop wasting more time, and I need to stop wasting some water. I'm trying. I'm on my journey. Okay, so maybe in future. Okay, so we can make it fun. It should not be very boring exercise, and we should practice compassion. We should forgive ourselves. So if we miss our practice for a day or for a couple of days, we should not beat ourselves up. We can simply pick ourselves up and get back on track the next day, the next week. So mindfulness is, all about cultivating awareness, being curious, and not perfection. So there is no destination in mindfulness. It's a journey. Okay, we should not have this destination syndrome. Like, when I have this, I will be happy. If I practice mindfulness for 1 hour every day, I'll I'll attain the Zen mind. No, no, it's not like that. There is no destination in mindfulness. So we should practice it out of curiosity to cultivate awareness, but not having any expectation. If we expect, that is that contradicts the very essence of mindfulness, because when we expect something, it is something we are focusing on the future. Because if something, if I do like this in future, I will have more serene mind. If I practice mindfulness in future, my relationship will better. So indirectly, I am focusing on the future. where mindfulness says that we have to stay in the present moment. So these are some practical strategies which I personally followed, and that is the reason I am sharing it with you. I do not like to share something with you which I have not personally followed or which I have not personally practiced. So yes, so now you can ask me any question or you can share your experience as well. What was your experience, like how you could be more consistent and more uh, regular in nature when it comes to mindfulness meditation? Yeah. Any question or sharing any experience? Okay, let me, but I could not hear her. Let me just increase the voice a bit. Just give me 1 second. Just give me 1 second. I think I have muted it. Yeah.
Uh, in
Okay.
regards to
Yeah, yeah. I could hear you, Suki. Yes, yes.
okay, regarding the consistency, I find myself focusing on results, and I think to myself, my mind should be more clear by now, or I should be more peaceful by now, or I should have better control of my emotions by now, and so I really have to work on not doing that. I think you just mentioned something called destination syndrome, and
Right.
that rang true for me. And so what I'm working on is just doing it every day and not worry about what the result is going to be. And I am sure that the result will come slowly over time, but I have to really not focus on that.
Exactly, exactly, Suki. So, I can understand your feeling because the same thing had happened with me. I thought I could be better. I have been practicing mindfulness for 1 year, and still today I shouted at my wife, you know, what happened? What is the point? I thought that every day I would practice mindfulness for half an hour, for 1 hour, and then I could not do, and then I just felt bad about myself. So I can empathize with what you are going through or what you are feeling, but yes, you know the answer. Inside of you, you know the answer that you should not focus on the expectation because, again, if you're focusing on the expectation, we are focusing in the future. And when you are trying to be better, or you are trying to be better from yesterday, you are trying to be better than last week or than last month, then you are already in the right path. So you don't need to worry. Yeah, you just need to carry on your mindfulness in everyday manner and just try not to focus on the expectation part. But human beings are very like I would be wrong if I say that I practice mindfulness without any expectation or the thought does not cross my mind. I'm also a human being, and all human beings have expectation. That is very normal, but we should not get this expectation, or we should not let this expectation or this destination syndrome get the better of us and hamper our practice, or just um, hamper the way we enjoy the experience this journey. Otherwise, these things are fine. Sometimes these thoughts will come to our mind and we will just uh, tell these thoughts, oh, I am wise enough. Now I am not going to hear. I'm not going to pay any heed to you anymore. I have become wise now after practicing mindfulness. Haha. Okay. Any other question? Anyone else is speaking? Let me check. No. Actually, my it was mute, so that's why. Yeah. Any other question, or if you'd like to share your experience, like how Yeah, yeah, please. Okay, okay, okay. Liz, got it, Liz. Yeah, yeah, it's very normal to have expectation. We all are human being. So, yes. So, any other question? Or you'd like to share your experience how you became consistent with mindfulness? I would love to learn from you as well. I am also learning just like you. Okay, okay. So then we can close today's session here. Even in future also, I'm just trying these something which helped me. I'm just trying to pass it forward and um, just in case someone gets benefited. Some people do not get benefits from mindfulness, or some people give it up because they do not have that little patience for initial 1 month or 2 month, and they give it too they give it up too early, saying that it is not working for me, because it takes at least 1 month or 2 months to get a hold of it, just like any other kind of subject. No, 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 it's absolutely fine, lady. No worry at all. Today also, I'm recording this session, and I will put it tomorrow on YouTube. So you can, um, even if you or someone else has missed the session, they can watch it. Yeah, truly. If we get to know about the scientific benefits of practicing mindfulness, or the empirical study, or more data, more facts, it actually inspires us. It actually motivates us and to put our best effort. Because if it has worked for me, it will work for you as well. And mindfulness is backed by neuroscience. It is not something which is we have to believe in, or we have to have faith. It is something which is very rational. The body of mindfulness, it's purely scientifical body. It's purely based on neuroscience. So we all can get benefited. Just we need to have a little practice in the beginning. We should not give it up. We should give it a try, because our mind has become like a monkey. It will not let us sit. It will not let us concentrate and focus. But if we stay with mindfulness for some time, it can give us enormous benefits. Exactly, exactly. So this is where the neuroscience and the ancient Buddhist philosophy meets. So even in future, we can have some sessions where some religious studies has been proven by science. This is one. Mindfulness is one. But even I know a few more things which has been research in future, and people have found benefits. And for me, like spirituality and the science is just uh, two different side of the same coin. So yeah, maybe that is a topic for another day. Sorry for, oh my God, it's already 53 minutes. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. Um, so next Monday we shall meet, and we shall discuss on some new topic. Thank you everyone, and have a nice day and have a nice week, and we shall meet next Monday. And I'm sorry again for taking a long time. I know sometimes when I speak I lose the awareness of time. I'm very sorry for that. Yeah. Yeah, you're most welcome. Namaste. And everyone have a nice week and take care. Bye.